I'm Max Cavazzini. I'm leading the business development for automotive and manufacturing in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Today, I know Gen AI, buzzword, you saw a lot. I want to discuss a little bit how we can bring value to your business using Gen AI, what are the use cases, where you should start from, what you should be looking at. So, why is it relevant? Again, you saw a lot of Gen AI, a lot of discussion and such. And basically, we know that Gen AI, someone is even talking about Industry 5.0 to mean a generative AI manufacturing industry. You know that Industry 4.0 is a word that has been basically born here in Hannover 13 years ago now. Someone is thinking about, okay, it's now the next gen revolution thanks to Gen AI. And if you look why is it relevant, you see that there are 4 areas where customers and companies are basically saying, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is why it's relevant. Generative means generating things, having automation, having faster things, and all these motions that can help you have in business. Just as a reminder, Gen AI is not a new technology, right? It's part of AI, ML technology. So if you look at artificial intelligence, which is something that has been used for years. In Amazon, we have been using AI for our fulfillment centers, for our high-performance computing, for building stuff since years. Generative AI is a subset of subsets, so it's augmenting use cases, but don't think it's always the unique option you have. Now, if you think how a factory is done, and if you look at the layout of a factory, already there's a lot of machine learning and AI going on. So if you look more or less, again, it's standard plant footprint, there are already a lot of use cases where ML, AI is used to solve challenges. Can be forecasting, can be predicting delays, can be measuring carrier performance on supply chain, can be predictive maintenance. If you have a look at our e-bike demo, there's Monitron. It's not using Gen AI, it's using ML AI to help doing monitor. So, lots already going on. What is different is that you have traditional machine learning, right? So you train the algorithm, what is good, what is bad, and then the model can predict. But the prediction is basically based on the training, on the images you feed. We have a demo here, you feed 35, 40 images, and you already have a good model for good and bad definition. Now, why is AI different? What is the value that could really bring? Guess what? When we say the students opened, what? Is it a book? Is it something? So if you apply Gen AI here without providing, what was good and bad in the previous example, what is different is context. Gen AI can contextualize and then give you a prediction. So the content itself can stay the same. Context is relevant. We have a bunch of partners. When you collect the data in a plant, in the operations, that can help you contextualize those data so your Gen AI model can work better. Now, we are in a manufacturing fair. What are the use cases that are relevant in the space? I'm not going to go through details, right? A lot of details here. But there are 6 areas where we see customers really active in Gen AI. One big area, knowledge management, give access to the knowledge. We heard this morning, if you were here, lot of customers saying, okay, we have a shortage skills, people in maintenance leaving the job, we need to fast train new people. So knowledge management is an area where really Gen AI can help. Customer experience, chatbots, all what's relevant in the customer interaction is what made Gen AI famous. If you think about last year, everyone chatbot and chatting. So how do you get to a better customer experience using Gen AI? Then an area which will grow a lot, design generation. If you think, again, generative means that you generate. Generative design, how do you have a better design in product design and engineering? How you get faster to simulation? We have a demo here where we show that we apply AI to faster HPC. Typically, if you have a computational fluid dynamic design, engineers do some hypothesis, change the design, run on a high-performance computing a task, and then after hours or days, depending on the complexity, they get the result. Now, if we apply AI to what we learned across the numerous workloads that have been through the computational fluid dynamic, the engineer can get a direction. So the model can say, with these changes, more or less you get this, and you avoid to run high-performance computing because you checked with an AI model before running. And suddenly the number of simulation goes down, and instead of waiting hours or days to get the result, the first result, again, AI-based locally, it's in minutes. Those are the type of use cases that when the hype of conversational agents will go down, we'll see more and more. Then, if you think about, again, the area of conversation, text generation, summarization, I think we have seen a lot. In the manufacturing space, is mainly around manuals. How do I help field engineers to do better their job? We still didn't see a lot of generating new ideas, new business models, and such. Now, one example, just to be concrete, of a customer carrier. How do you expand generative AI benefits in the business? We sat down together 2 days with their board. We created 100 ideas on how to use Gen AI, and then carrier prioritized those and started delivering. Again, you need to prioritize. You cannot do everything. Another example, it's going to be in production. I cannot still mention the name. Imagine a technician that is going with the tool to read machine data. I just go quick here because there is a demo here if you want to see it. But once you have the data, typically the engineer needs to go back somewhere, read the manual, search the manual, look at the computer, where is the information. Now, you can use a web app powered by Gen AI to help the technician to get to the response quickly. Again, think about minutes or seconds versus minutes or hours, right? What is the right manual to look for? So once you basically ask what the information that I read on the tool is about, where is the right manual to look at, what is the fix for that issues, this is really shortening the time for the technician to make sure he can fix. Another example, it's basically the ability to interact easily with systems. In manufacturing, a lot of different systems, a lot of different suppliers, a lot of different tools going on, typically siloed. What about having agents that can help you query your system? In this case, it's an MES, right? How much time do I need to do a coffee maker today? How much time do I need to do a washing machine? BMW, it has been around a reInvent, did a type of dashboard for querying supply chain. Where is this product? When is it coming? How much is the cost of moving this product from A to B? Again, the ability to easily access information. Now, the number of use cases, it's very, very broad. I don't want to go through each and every one. You can get the slides, just ping me if you want. But think about how many use cases you can really solve with a caveat, you need to have a data strategy in place. If you don't have a data strategy, don't even think about AI, ML. You need to collect the data, you need to contextualize the data before you can act. So again, nice use case, low code or no code PLC programming, nice, right? But then, if you don't have the knowledge base in place, if you don't have the right infrastructure in place, then this use case won't fly and you won't be able to execute. This morning, a lot of customers discussed about the pilot purgatory. Everyone is doing POCs, pilots. How about to execute? Before you can execute, you need to have the infrastructure in place, the data strategy in place, and then you can start deliver. This one, again, it's available in a demo, so I won't spend minutes on it, but you have an engineer with a lot of strange codes and signal. If you have a good knowledge base built, in the end, what is he saying? Monitoring multiple lines, explaining in a simple language what is a strange set of numbers and code means. Imagine a field engineer, instead of looking for all through the information, having, again, in seconds, the ability to understand what is this about and how I can act on this. This is where we see the business value of Gen AI beyond, the POCs. Think about fault diagnosis, quality control, production planning. Again, a lot of use cases you can start. My advice would be define your priority. You cannot start to do everything in one moment. Where is the biggest impact on your business? What are the main challenges that you see today? Just to give you an example, you can just query and tell the system, okay, can you give me a comparison? Normal versus abnormal behavior. It's something that typically you go to a data analyst, they need to build the dashboard, you need to wait days if they have time and if you have the budget to pay to build. Once you have the right database in place, the right knowledge base set up and the infrastructure, then you expand the ability to query and have this type of dashboard to any single employee, right? And how do you do that? I mean, how do you democratize the access to the data? Again, data strategy, infrastructure, and then deliver. Now, I want to a little bit expand into automotive, which part of larger manufacturing. Because again, if you look at about product design, we mentioned, customer and dealer experience, we mentioned, there are two areas where Gen AI is heavily impacting. One is the autonomous driving. We will see in 1 second what that looks like. And the other one is the in-vehicle experience. Because again, if you think about Gen AI, first wave was all about assistant. So virtual assistants in the car, it's where the automotive industry is also looking at. Think about product engineering. You have a simple and a more complex. Already today, there are customers that are using Gen AI for simple parts. Is it a brake? Is it, the ability to tell the system, can you optimize for a better weight? Can you optimize for a better production? The Gen AI in product engineering can really reshape the way we design products. And again, in this moment, it's mainly on simple parts. But this is what Toyota and Autodesk did on a more complex seat, right? Designing from scratch a seat frame, it's something that it's coming. And to do that, you need to be ready. Now, second area where you will see more and more, synthetic data generation. Think about training, autonomous driving, autonomous flying, robotics. There are some use cases, corner use cases that you don't have data. How do you do that? You generate synthetic data to train the algorithm and be ready. It's exactly similar to quality management. When you are at the start of the production, you don't have all the images and all the data for defects. They will come eventually, hopefully not, but eventually they will come. How do you train at the beginning the algorithm to be able to recognize defects where you don't have images data on a new product? You generate the defect, feed the model, and have a better. Again, in the long term, the synthetic data will disappear because then you have a model and real data. But at the beginning, using synthetic data to create scenarios, to create defects, it's where GenAI can help in manufacturing. Just as an example, Iveco, truck maker, Italian truck maker, CNH is a larger old, let's say, machine maker too. So in 2018, we started building an application for truck drivers called DriverPal to help them. Now the 3.0, which is the current application, it's using generative AI to bring the application to the next level. Again, this is a consumer, meaning it's targeted to truck drivers. But if you look at the first estimates on what is the business impact of Gen AI, the truck driver is able to ask the system about the truck, about the route, about the colleagues, about the supply, extended supply chain, what's happening there. So it's not just product engineering, very technical, or operations. It's also employees. Remember that new employees coming in the plant are digital employees. They have never seen a world without internet, digital. If you cannot provide digital tools to help them their job, they will leave to other industries, which is an issue. Same for your final consumers. They do expect digital to be embedded in your product, in your production, in your supply chain, in your customer care. Key takeaways. As I was saying, your Gen AI strategy, whatever, it's down there, but without data strategy, you won't go anywhere. If you look at the design of the boot, we have a physical light which represents a data lake, an industrial data lake, with all data flowing in and out for different departments. Start with your data strategy, collect, clean, put the data somewhere, remove silos, otherwise forget to do Gen AI. Okay, you can do a pilot in a small department in a line, but if you want to get business results, you need to realize that much more under the hood. And what is the much more? Again, storage, database, analytics. We, as AWS, help you in setting the right infrastructure, running it smoothly, secure way. You need to put, let's say, the strategy around your data and your business. Where do you start? 3 suggestions here. Gen AI, and in general AI, it's capable of solving large problems. Don't start with a super niche problem. I mean, again, if you want to get out of POC, is the problem big enough? If you do it right, will it scale? Will it have a business impact? Second, do you have enough data? Forget to use AI, ML, Gen AI if you don't have enough data. You will fail. So make sure before you start any project that you have enough data. Third one, in theory, you want to automate as much as possible operations. You want to avoid manual repetition, a task that has low value is where you automate, right? And then you get the value and speed you need. So what's the output of what you are building? Is it an information you want to feed directly into an RP, an ERP? Is it an image that you want to feed to a machine learning model? Before you even start writing or asking someone to write a line of code, ask yourself these 3 questions. How do you get value quickly? Something easy to use. Again, we are democratizing the way you can use machine learning, AI, Gen AI. Should be something easy to use. Developers and good developers are a niche. You want the tools to be used by employees at large, something which is easy to use. Cost. If you pass by our demo, there are two models which has a 10x cost factor difference. 10x. It means that the question and the answer will cost 10x difference, $1 versus $10, $10 versus 100. Last year we were all throwing data to train ChatGPT, but when it comes to production, so out of the POC, you start to look at the business value. Is there a business case? Do I really need to use the coolest and latest model for providing an extraction of data from a manual to a field engineer? I think not. We have a product called SageMaker Canvas where you can compare the result of the models. We have 8 models available. And then you can decide what's the price point you want to hit for that specific use case. We believe one model does not fit all. That's why we already have 8 models and the ability to upload your own model. Because when we move from POC to production, business value and cost, it's becoming important. Third one, start on the faster time to value. Your CFO, your CEO will never wait 2 or 3 years to see value. Look for the faster return on investment. There are use cases that are really bringing you a result in weeks, not years, not months. Probably in this moment, you should start from there. Again, we don't believe that one model can solve every problem. There are models which are specializing in different tasks. Think about what is the best model to fill your use case. Business value, use case, and then you work backward to the technology. Never start with the technology, then where does it fit? No, start with the use case and the business, and then choose the right technology. To us, domain knowledge is the differentiator. The reason why AWS is serving more than 1 million customers across every industry, across every country and size. The reason why we are here with the manufacturing boost, because domain knowledge, so applying a technology to a specific sector, is where we can help customers faster. Last, privacy and security. Again, last year, many of probably yourself or your employees threw data protected by intellectual property into systems, provided company information, and that information were used to train the model that is now used by your competitors. Be aware that privacy and protecting the data should be #1 priority for you. Again, when you use a model within AWS infrastructure and Bedrock, if you upload documents, they stay in your AWS account. You own the account, you own the data, you control the data. It's not going to train the algorithm for someone else. So you have better results, you fine-tune your algorithm, but data are staying within your own, and the outcome of the fine-tuned algorithm is just benefiting your company. This is key to be competitive. You don't want your data or your employees. One of the things that I like on Bedrock, there's a function called guardrails, which is enforcing company policy into the employee, meaning you don't want the employee to give the Gen AI to the kids to play and such, and you provide guardrails. You don't want, finance to have access with Gen AI to manufacturing information. So these guardrails is something you set up to define how the employees are using the web app. More or less, that's it for today. I'm here for questions you may have. I think we have 5 minutes each. So with that, I know that we did a lot there. Any question before we close? Mike is coming.
Basic one. You mentioned different language model. Can you summarize which one do you have available and mainly the use cases that you foresee now are appropriate?
In this moment, there are 8 models available. There are some models built by us, like Titan. There are some models built by Anthropic AI, could be Claude, Claude 2, Claude 3, and such. There is Llama, Meta. There are some open source model. Now, the two big, and again, happy to deep dive, but to really make it quick and short, the answer. There are models which are fine-tuned for machine vision, model for text summarization, model for knowledge-based management. And then within a family of models, you start seeing the quality of the output, because again, with Canvas you can compare. So when, let's say you ask a question, you look at the output given by different models, and you decide if the performance is enough or you need to move to a more expensive model. So the biggest difference is that if you have one model, this is it, like it or not, this is the price and this is. But again, if you look at generating in a very complex and very rich context, you probably go to the latest model, latest and greatest. If you just look information in an owner manual, you stay with a lower level model, which again may cost 1/10, and you have quality which is good enough. More models will come. Another one. There is two. And you shoot me when time is done.
Okay, hello. It's possible to do retrain the model in AWS, or just is it possible to retrain the model in AWS, or just only can use existing one in there?
There are, you can, meaning, of course you can fine-tune the existing model uploading your own data, that's one option. You can upload your own model to do that. So AWS is about choices. If you know us, typically for solving one challenge, you have different paths. So we like and we push to give our customers the ability to choose depending on their real need. So you can do both. Last question maybe, and then we leave the stage.
The last one, you mentioned because of security, you don't use your customer data for training the models, but how do you train your models then for accuracy?
So, of course, the models are coming for third party. So they use their own data set, anonymized and such. So we use models that are built by third party, and when we use our own model, we use data sets that are not by customers, right? Because when you put data in your AWS account, we don't have access to data. You can, you can have them basically secured at rest, secure in transit, secure in there, and we don't take the data to train the model. It's an external model. What we do, we help you upload your data to train the model you use, so it will be also trained with your data or data that you can acquire. We have a data platform where you can buy and sell data, so eventually you can also do that. So again, the model itself is coming pre-trained by a third party. You can upload your data and fine-tune and have a better model, or you can even acquire data to do a better job. I leave the stage to the next speaker. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.